Okay, so Nawaz is in, and we're trying to get her on. Hi,
Hey there, Ripu. How are you doing?
I am doing good, and I'm right now. All my everything's crossed because your network stalled already.
No, it's working fine right now, isn't it?
There's a couple of times it's gone into that dizzy. So we'll just quickly ask people if they can see us here, both of us, well, because I just
Yeah.
checked before you came, and till that time, my from my end it was working fine.
Okay,
If
I'm also
somebody can
checking
tell
it
us,
from mine because I've
yeah,
gotten onto a higher degree of network to ensure.
and
So,
and I can
yeah,
and I can
you
never be
guys,
sure
can
if
you
it's
see us? Can you hear us? Let us know.
yes, please.
I'm getting a thumbs up there.
Okay, all right. So I yeah, see both of you, hear both of you. I think we are good.
Super.
Now, is it possible that you come in a little more light? Is there more light around? Just give
Uh,
me hold on, just
hold
give me
on. Let
one
me
second.
try. Let me just give it a shot.
No, you're perfect now. It was
Is that somehow
mine.
better?
Yeah, way better.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Right.
All right. So, thank you so much for joining us today. And I'll quickly walk you through before I mean, I don't need to introduce you, but I'll still do that because that's part of the ritual. But the whole concept of Trash Talk with Plogman of India was that we've been doing these activity called the trash workout all over the country, trying to combine sports and fitness with the garbage crisis and trying to make it a very cool thing to do for citizens to take responsibility to actually clean up. Right, that's something which is looked down upon. Now, during the
What a
lockdown,
fabulous, fabulous initiative, and you've come a long way.
thank you so much. During the lockdown, now we couldn't go out on ground. So we thought how to make ourselves useful. So we started these trash talks where we get people from different fields just talking about how it's just impacted them, the lockdown, the pandemic and the subsequent lockdown, and how we could contribute and make our lives better. There are lots of things that we'll talk about fitness today as well, right? So that's the whole idea of trash talk, talking about passion, profession, and fitness and cleanliness and environment in a fun and cool way. For all those who that's not the right word to use, but for all those, if you want to, if you want me to introduce Nawaz, Nawaz is one of the first or probably the pioneer of fitness in India, especially somebody as a woman breaking the ceiling of fitness in India. Even if you look back, even till 90, you didn't see a lot of fitness professionals around. So, Nawaz, let's get the cliched part out. What have you been doing during this lockdown? What has been keeping you busy?
So, I've actually been very busy.
Okay.
I started by firstly shifting my whole work model onto the online portal.
Yeah.
So all our classes, our personal trainings, etc., everything has gone online, which was not the case earlier.
Right.
And unlike other professionals, have not just uploaded videos that you can go and work out on. So, you can have 1,000,001 videos, YouTube videos, you can just go and upload it, whatever, and just watch and work out. It's not like that. It's very
Right.
live. I'm looking at you like here and now. It's very
Yeah.
bespoke, so it is tailor made towards a person's requirement, their age, their fitness level, their goals, their health limitations, if any, even their likes and dislikes towards exercise, because exercise is a very emotional thing. If you don't like it, you're not going to do it too long. It's not
Right.
going to become a habit. And it's done in live in terms of group classes. So this sort of technology doesn't exist. I've beaten it out of my team after months, and it's very nice because eventually you want to do cardio. It's horrible to do it alone. I mean, how much are you going to motivate yourself to go one step after the next, day in and day out, And you really
Right.
need the cardio right now, right? The cardiorespiratory fitness, the heart lungs being up. You really need to make sure that your immunity is up. You don't put on the weight, the inches, God forbid you have to see the inside of a hospital or a clinic. I mean, that in itself is mortifying. So
Yeah.
all these things, and for that you need the pure cardio. So for all these things, the cardio classes online are fabulous. We do it in group form, and I have a large variety, a large offering. And personal training, where we offer about 18, 20 different types and forms of routines within which there is a lot of variation, because again the body gets very immune to what's going on and needs a constant
Mm.
change, or we don't further progress. So this is what's
Right.
happening with me and my team and my membership, and we're very happy in that space. Staying at home, we keep it safe and nobody has to go out there and die. I've also been painting a lot. I am an artist.
Okay.
So I,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
I've had a lot of solo exhibitions in the past, and I've been
Wow.
painting a lot. I finished painting a wall, a large wall in my meditative room, and I've been doing a lot of other art ever since thereafter as well. Many commissions come in, so lots of that going on in a very happy way. I have been writing my book
Oh.
for 9 months before the lockdown. I hadn't written one chapter, not even one, though I was at it for a long time. And in the lockdown, I've finished now about 9 chapters. So
Right.
very happy in that space. I think once one gets up in their mind and starts doing things that really fulfill this, it's quiet time, right? I mean, you have your in, your cordoned off, so it's a good place to kind of, in a way, let's say, study. And
Yeah.
that takes me to the other thing that I'm doing. I am doing a course with Harvard Business School. So
Okay.
ever since in March, in lockdown, when everything went free, the whole world went free, remember?
Yeah.
And everyone was offering everything free. The Harvard Business School was offering these 65 different free courses. And
Yeah.
I think, like all of us, I'm a sucker for all things free. So so I decided to sign up for one of those courses, and it's a very
Yeah.
pertinent course to today because it is about entrepreneurship in emerging markets. And now, what is more emerging than what is happening these days to all of us, right?
Right.
So these are the different things I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of stuff with my daughters, teaching them a lot of art, piano. I'm composing little bits of music for my, because I'm providing a lot of content to different publications, media houses and stuff. Because now everybody wants to know from me, how do I not put on weight? How do I stay healthy? How do I
Yeah.
not get sick? How do I not have to see a doctor? How do I keep my cardiorespiratory system in peak condition? How do I
Right.
keep my immunity up? So they don't want to spend on anything except for groceries and this.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad space. So I've been super busy. And of course, we all have to manage the environment, our parents, other things, other people, rescue operations. I don't think Zoom, sadly, funerals, I don't think any of us are devoid of all these things.
Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah, that's my lockdown.
Wow. I mean, I couldn't, after like three, four things, I think we've gone through some 10 odd things, and I've lost a track of most of those things. But it's wonderful that you've been writing a book. And outside of that, you talked about the Harvard Business School. So very interesting. Coincidentally, I like you said, we are all suckers for free content or free anything. I signed up for a couple of courses. One was, of course, on the environment, and actually two courses. One was on Judaism and one was Sikhism. So I am very intrigued by religions and the Middle East, especially the Middle East conflict. It really fascinates me because half of my roots are from the Arab world and half are Punjabi. So I kind of keep reading about it. So
That's
those
a
were a
very
couple of,
interesting combination.
yeah. And Judaism really it really kind of fascinates me. So I keep reading about Mossad, Jerusalem, so on and so forth. But okay, all right. Since you've spoken about so many things, I think we will go back to fitness, and I'm gonna ask you this question, which you touched upon very briefly. So, for people mostly holed up in their home for 6 months or more, how do they stay fit? I mean, do you have like a silver bullet? or or like specific things, exercises that people could do without too much of an effort and still be able to keep a certain level of fitness level. I think we all look for that silver bullet, but I'm sure that's not the case. But if you can recommend a few things that people could do.
Actually, there is a whole lot that you can do at home. Well, probably the easiest thing for anyone to do would be to get onto one of my social media handles, because there's a large variety of what you can do at home with virtually nothing in terms of
Right.
equipment or accessories. And so my Insta handle is Navaz Body Art Mumbai. My Facebook handle is Body Art Mumbai, and YouTube is the same, Body Art Mumbai. So just to give you a little bit of a brief, even a wall is a fabulous piece of equipment to work out with and on. You can work any and every body part on it, as is the floor, as is your own body weight, as is even a dupatta if you don't have a band or a theraband,
Yeah.
as is a ball, with children's ball, things of
Right.
that sort. A towel makes for a fabulous piece of equipment. And what to do, a chair, furniture, it is all fabulous pieces of equipment that we never explored before because we never had the need to. But
Right.
it's honestly not even a consolation prize. There's so much you can do with it. And like I said, if you want to check out more, just if you get onto my social media handles, you'll see that and a whole lot more. Not only on the strengthening front or the resistance front, but also on the cardio front, because as I was mentioning earlier, it's really the cardiorespiratory fitness that's going to keep us,
Right.
healthy, alive, weight in check, etc. We also need to concentrate on, and we don't concentrate on our mobility or our flexibility, because there's so many other things to do, right? So
Yeah.
in terms of fitness even. So as we lose our flexibility and we lose mobility a little bit, what tends to happen is we lose our functional fitness, and we are very liable to end up injuring ourselves. So as I lose a little bit of flexibility, for example, I may find that now I get out of bed and suddenly I have a crick in the neck. Should not be the case when you're functionally fit. Or I find that, getting up from the floor, standing up, sitting back down is not that easy. I'm losing some functional fitness. Even a
Right.
small thing like, I reach out for a, switch or something. And, I could kind of dislocate a shoulder if I have a weak shoulder anyway. These things should not happen. So that's an important aspect of fitness we need to focus on. And again, that's all there on my website. And hey, you want it live? Come and join our classes. Come and join what's happening at Body Art. You can check it all out at bodyart.in. That's our website. That's where all these live classes are happening. Like I said, they're not uploads. I can look at you, I can tell you what's going on, I can correct your alignment, your posture, your so on and so forth, motivate you. And you know what? This group class thing is a huge thing, because can you go to a discotheque and be the sole person dancing there with zero music? It's not working,
To do
right?
that.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
you really need that pump and that pump, and you need to feel like getting up and moving, and you really
Right.
need to have the group energy. You need those people around. So that happens in my
Yeah.
cardio group classes. So that's another great option. And we give trials also, to people to just come in. So it's a fabulous way of checking it out. And PT as well, because certain people have more issues than that. So they need the personal training, maybe a hip replacement, maybe they've just come out of the coronavirus, maybe a back problem, they're pregnant, whatever. So for individual cases, those personal trainings are fabulous, and they're a very good value for money. So it's another good checkout.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. So you spoke basically in the end, what you spoke about was functional fitness, basic functional fitness, right? The switching on of the fan and basic things. And those are very important to keep moving, your joints to keep moving. To anybody who's wanting more tips, you know where to go, where to find Nawaz. A couple of things, Nawaz, that I wanted to add to everything that you said was some of the most basic exercises that we could do, which are brilliant workouts, are actually the household chores. Have you ever done a jharu, as in people out there? Have you ever done a katka, as it's called in Bombay? Right? And have you ever done these basic household chores? If you've ever done that, you know how wonderful a workout they all are. So if people you've never tried those out, please do. So during the lockdown, we created these home version of the trash workout, and that's what we got kids and teenagers to do. Just do jharu and pocha, and they love the activity, right? The fitness aspect of it.
I actually have done jharu and katka both.
No,
No,
it wasn't a question for you. It was for people out there.
I know, but I want to share something with you that I
No,
actually have done jharu and katka both. Not in recent times, in times gone by. And I have to say that while I agree with you, it's a very good workout. Yes, it yet does not qualify as fitness in terms of fat loss, inch loss, for a
yeah,
variety of technical reasons. You know, your heart rate is not up, it's not up for a sustained period of time. The body doesn't start burning fat, etc. Just want to clarify because you
right,
insinuated that you get a great workout from it. That's one thing. So it is physical activity, but it doesn't contribute in this direction. And
right.
secondly, invariably, because of all of this, you tend to end up with a bit of a back problem, lower, upper, neck, etc., which again needs you to rehabilitate. We do a lot of rehab work in our classes, in our fitness space as well. So it needs you to rehab in that sense as well, or the problem worsens, and spinal issues come in the way, sciatica, slip disc, prolapse disc, and oh my God,
True.
back to the hospital, which is the last place we want to go right now, especially.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a chicken and egg story.
True. No, I absolutely agree. In fact, in its most basic form, it could be a problem, and that is why what we created was the base was fitness, right? And then we said, okay, with these activities or exercises, keeping your form in a certain way, you can actually do these household chores, adding household chores to all your fitness activities. So that's what I was referring to. But I absolutely agree. For people who don't have basic functional fitness, please don't try it. All right, and do it under proper guidance. Okay. All right, moving to the third question, and an interesting. What we want is an interesting anecdote for you, Dawaz. You've been in the fitness industry for such a long time. Is there an instance or a person that you are reminded of right now to share with us how the fitness industry has evolved over time, especially in India? I mean, anything that comes to your mind, how things have evolved over time?
So, when I first started, there was really nothing on the scene. There was just like a talwarkars around. And
Oh
I
yeah,
saw a lot of opportunity to educate the market, to bring my products in. I wanted to bring in something which was many things which were very new, very different, not seen before. I wanted to contribute to society in a meaningful way. I'm not a Me Too sort of person. Okay, that's the wrong thing to say these days, but I'm not a follow the crowd sort of person. Let me paraphrase.
yeah.
And I like to lead from the front. So I brought in slowly over a period of time a lot of things onto the Indian fitness scene. I started off with one single small studio on which I spent only 1 lakh rupees, all told, to do everything up. I was a young girl, I had no money. And from there,
Okay.
I started with 1 or 2 classes and built it up eventually to now about 25, 27 different types and forms of group classes, cardio, strength training, mind, body, all of it. And also stress reduction, so that goes into the mind body space, very important. Then I added on a gym, a full-fledged, gym. Moving on to Pilates studios. So I introduced Pilates into the country, particularly in terms of full-fledged Pilates studios. 13, 14 different types and forms of equipment. And all from California, all from Balanced Body. So California typically is one of our meccas of fitness because Hollywood, and the way they need to maintain themselves, etc. So all my equipment is from there. Then I moved on to a second location, a third location, a fourth location, etc., and added on a whole lot more spinning studios, aqua aerobic facilities, group classes, aqua yoga, aerial arts, so hammock training, 360-degree training, fabulous, for a million reasons. And I love my life. That's how it moved on. Yeah.
Wow. That's yeah, I mean, especially I'm sure when you're starting out and when you're introducing new things, right? It is a very interesting journey, but it is something which you're starting for the first time, so you don't know the path in front. And to continue going in that route takes a lot of conviction, if I may put it that way.
Yes, when I first wanted to get into this line of work, I had quite a hard time convincing my father. I come from a family of lawyers, and the kind of
Ah,
expectation was that that's what I would do with the rest of my life as well. And I did study the law. I am a law graduate. I have never regretted it. It's helped me in every arena of my life, every space of my life. It helps you how to think, how to organize, so on and so forth, how to speak, all of it. But I had no intention of ever getting into the law. I at the same time parallelly, got my certifications together in the fitness space. I went abroad. I was in the US for a long time. I studied there. I taught there. Got experience there before I came back and decided to start my centers. And my father, I come from a family of lawyers, so my brothers and everybody else, the more serious people. And none of the women have ever worked. So it wasn't expected either of me to work, but if I worked, then it should have been law.
okay.
So yeah, so it was unsaid really, but yeah, more navigated that way. And when I spoke to my father about what it is that I wanted to do, I didn't want to disappoint him. I studied the law, but he tells me, trying to convince me to not do what I'm currently doing. He tells me that, okay, Nawaz, what's this? I mean, how long are you going to do this fitness thing? And I turned around and told him, Dad, how long are you going to be a lawyer? And he is 90 now, and he's still very much active and, working. So he got
Wow.
the point that no, it's whatever I do, it's for a lifetime. And another thing he told me, which is what drove me, is that, don't worry about money. You're never going to need the money. Okay? You're very well taken care of. Just do something that allows you to give back to society in a way that they couldn't get otherwise. Make use of yourself in
Right.
a different way. Give back. You have a lot to give back. We all have a lot to give back. So these have driven me through my life and helped me in very good stead. And I'm very passionate about what I do. So I don't work a day in my life.
Wow. Okay. That the last sentence that you just mentioned really resonated with me. And if I have to summarize what you just said, I mean, you're still an advocate. You're a fitness advocate now. So you kind of fulfill both your father's and your passion as well, which is wonderful. And which again takes us back to fitness. Now, in the lockdown, Nawaz, we know that masks have become mandatory, right? It's something that mostly Delhi-walas and a few other North Indian cities had seen at some point because of the pollution. But now with masks becoming mandatory all over the world, now and with the lockdown happening, there are gyms opening, people are going outside, but they're supposed to wear masks. And there's a real debate that I could see for fitness with masks, especially running with masks. What's your take on it?
Okay, so you know what? It's really hard to run with a mask.
Yeah.
As it is, you are, especially if it's an N95 mask, which is the one that's going to protect you, right?
Hmm.
So you feel very stifled, you feel like you can't breathe, and you're trying to get in more volumes of air because you need it when you're running. It's not working, you
True.
can even pass out. So what I would strongly recommend is Unfortunately, and it's hard for me to say this, but the truth of the matter is that gyms are very high risk places for many reasons right now. My gyms in the physical world are shut. I am in no
Mm.
hurry to open, and I'll give you the top 4 5 reasons why. Firstly, when I'm in a gym, I'm breathing very heavily. I have to.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yes.
breathing like this. Can you see what I'm doing? I am
Yeah.
throwing the virus. I am pelting it out of my
Right.
mouth at great
Yes.
distance. Not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening. Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, like we just said, I can't use a mask when I'm running. So if you make me, there's a problem. I will sneak it. I will pull it down under my chin or whatever.
Mm.
Okay. Three, everything in a gym is made out of metal. The virus lasts longest on metal. Cleaning in between is not always that practical in terms of, okay, somebody can clean up and sanitize. It's not always that practical. People are waiting for equipment, waiting to jump on equipment once somebody finishes. God forbid the cleaning guy isn't around, misses a spot, even. That's all it takes.
Right.
It's not
True.
happy. Yeah. And sweat carries a lot of diseases in even normal times. It is a huge carrier of disease. So guess what? I mean, now in the middle of lockdown, in this situation, you don't want that. And of course, we are all in AC'd environments, and that's not happy. It's not open air. Social distancing is not possible in smaller gyms. So some of my gyms are very large, and one may even move equipment out. But generally in India, Bombay, whatever, I mean, real estate is very expensive. And in smaller gyms, social distancing of that nature may not be practical. And we Indians don't have that civic sense of even really what is social distancing. I mean, you
Yeah.
see those WhatsApp images of, people on the roads having their chappal ka marks with circles around it in social distancing, but these people have all gathered up together in one adda, sitting in one corner, chatting away without masks. So
Yeah.
what is that? What's the point of the fast? So there are many other reasons I won't bore you with. So in short, to answer your question, stay at home, do your cardio at home,
Yeah.
jump online with me or get onto my social media handles to do it by yourself. It'll give you a lot of ideas. Okay? But stay safe. There's no need to kill yourself and to kill others and to be socially irresponsible. I'm sorry, mass scale genocide was never legal, whichever way you saw it, this way or that. So, yeah, I strongly believe that. You have to be socially responsible.
No, I think that is wonderful advice, especially for people who believe that now the unlockdown is happening. There are gyms which are open. You could go outdoors and run. So now that we are out and we're doing these high intensity workouts, we can't do this without masks. I mean, if you can't do it without the mask, which is most likely true for everyone, you should not be venturing out. It's that simple. If you're out, you need to wear a mask to protect yourself and everybody around you as well, and your loved ones who, by the way, sitting back home, all right, waiting for you to
Absolutely,
come back.
100%. We don't live in a bubble by ourselves. We live with other people that we care about. And we have to have some common sense and some civic sense and some conscience, even. Okay? And I just want to say that even running outside with a mask has been shown and proved to be unsafe. Why
Yeah,
do you want to do it? I'm telling you, there are tons and tons of options, very interesting options whereby you can sit at home and do it entirely safely without your mask if you're in that condition, if you've all been totally in lockdown, nobody in, nobody out, as I am and as you seem to be. I mean, right now you talk to me without a mask, I talk to you without a mask. So we are
yeah.
we are in that safe environment to be able to do that. Wonderful, continue, but just don't cross the threshold of your front door.
True. Right. Okay. All right. Since you talked about conscience, I now in these times you can't talk about fitness without really talking about mental wellness. That's something which unfortunately has become which has come to the forefront, which is good in a way that it has come to the forefront because especially, I mean, I think it's a global phenomenon where we don't consider mental wellness or mental fitness at par with physical fitness, but I think it's becoming equally important now. So what are some of the ways now that people are locked up and human interaction has gone down as well? that does isolate a lot of people. How do people continually work on their mental and emotional well-being?
So, I've said, Ripu, since the start of lockdown, that those people who had some chink in their armor, let's call it that, whatever,
Yeah.
maybe somebody was on the threshold of losing their job, losing their mind, relationship issues, health issues, whatever the chink in your armor might be. I have always said that those who've started out with that are going to feel it 10,000 times more during lockdown. Okay, and we're seeing the repercussion of that everywhere and all over. We're seeing people go crazy. We're seeing it on social media. And we're making an informed judgment that, okay, I'm seeing that this person is very, very clearly one sandwich short of a picnic.
Okay.
Now, what I want to say is that even for the strongest and toughest of us, who in good times were sound, were all there, this is a very trying time for all of us as well.
Yeah.
So it is a time when you can feel down and depressed. I mean, there is real fear, there is real uncertainty, there is the real issues of jobs, business, loss, lives, all sorts of things. I mean, a simple thing like obtaining groceries can be such a big struggle. So the tempers, there's envy, there's all sorts of stuff going on. It's very sad that people are now locked in with their otherwise abusers, family that they could not bear. And now that sort of domestic violence has gone crazy. It's not only physical domestic violence, it's emotional and psychological domestic violence that does more harm. So what I have to say is just setting the environment. What I have to say is it's really important to take in your mental wellness daily, like you take in your physical wellness. Like I know I have to sleep, it's so important for my health. Or I have to have a bath every day. Or whatever. I mean, you may have to make a daily routine out of it because otherwise it's very easy to let it all go. So regimented, like you take medication, you take it like that. Now, therefore, in that direction, I would say, please do what you love. I spoke about a lot of things that I love, which I'm doing.
Yeah.
So do what makes your heart and soul truly, really happy and in balance. For some people, it could be it could be meditation. It could be whatever. I'm writing, I'm painting. For me, I'm writing, I'm painting. It's also my work. Fitness, it makes me very happy. It's also my work. So I think you're truly blessed when you combine what your passion is with what your life's mission is, your work. I don't think there's any greater happiness, and I think I've been blessed in multiple ways by having many such options for myself, which I'm actively engaged in. I would strongly recommend more than anything else that you watch your mind space in terms of the thoughts that you think. I think that the only level at which we can exercise control and exercise will is the thought level, nothing else. Okay, because my thoughts will become my words will become my actions, and my actions will then manifest whatever I want in my life. I mean, which school you go to first was a thought in somebody's mind. Who you'll marry is a thought in somebody's mind. How many children shall we have? What work shall I do? Everything we have in our life, where shall we live? How shall we live? What shall we buy? Is that shirt nice? Whatever it is, everything was first conceptualized as a thought, which then became a word, deed, and actualized. So what's most important is only the thought level. So, and we don't bother about what we're thinking. We're just thinking it. We're not at all observant of it.
Yeah.
In Zoroastrianism, and I'm a Zoroastrian, I'm a Parsi. So in our religion, it is about three things. It is about your own manashni, gavashni, kunashni, what we call, which is good thought, good word, good deed. Only our own. Each one change themselves and the world changes.
True.
We are not going to God to say, मुझे ये घर दे दो, मुझे किसकी बीबी दे दो, मुझे ये किसका काम दे दो. We're not doing any of that. We are saying we have to change ourselves. When we change ourselves, the world changes. You become the garden. Every butterfly will visit you. So this is really important. And I think there are, when you improve various things in your life in the physical space, which you're supposed to anyway, it is automatically a huge antidepressant, don't you think? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think so wise words and so many things to pick up, but I'll probably look at it in a sentence to say find yourself a routine that you can manage and then do what you love, do what you're passionate about. Don't stay away from all of that because that'll help you keep your mental levels and mental sanity intact right now. And of course, indulge in some sort of fitness and some activity which will keep the endorphins flowing in whenever required.
No, that's thank you. Thank you for saying that. How could I have missed that in everything I said? Fitness is a huge antidepressant in terms of all the happy hormones are released, the feel good hormones. So it's not only endorphins, it's also dopamines, it's also
Yeah.
serotonins, etc. And these are as powerful, in fact, known to be in many cases much more powerful than antidepressant drugs. So, just to prove this, many of us in fitness, come into a workout not feeling like today. I just don't feel like it. I've had a fight with somebody. I'm in a bad mood. I'm too busy. I've got a headache. I just don't feel like it. But then I'm forced to do it because I'm going to have some willpower and say, no, no, I should do it. And within 10-15 minutes of starting, I feel so much better. And by the end of the workout, I'm on such a high. And I'm thinking back on what is it that I was upset about earlier? What is it that I was depressed about earlier? I can't even remember. Was I even depressed? It seems like a dream. So it is that important and powerful, yes.
It is. It is. I know, and we all relate to what you just said. I think we all go through it on a pretty regular basis. And if any people have any questions for Nawaz, please put them in. I got a few questions and questions like what's the monthly turnover do? I mean, I have a basic
Sorry,
question.
what did you get? What's your?
No, no, just a random question about monthly turnover. So we'll skip that. A couple of other simple questions, stupid questions. But okay, Nawaz, I wanted to ask you about now. So this whole trash workout thing that I started, Nawaz, was to actually try to build uh, conscience amongst especially teenagers and kids who have all the conscience but need the right examples. And I think I believe that civic sense is something that a lot of us are lacking, especially in India. And that's what we try to set as examples for people, especially kids, where kids join in, they do a host of exercises, and while exercising, they pick up litter, they run, they walk, they jog, squat, lunge, deadlift, all of that. And then I say, when you fill up your bags, trash bags, think of it like a kettlebell or a trash or a dumbbell. It's like your trash belt. So you can do biceps, triceps, shoulders, so on and so forth. But the end goal was to build in some basic civic sense, which they can teach their parents, their relatives, their friends. In your experience being a Bombay wala, and Bombay is generally seen to be one of the better cities in India. Have you had instances or seen people lacking the most basic civic sense, like spitting, like littering, so on and so forth, in Bombay?
I have always been very saddened to see that everybody considers their house as their
Yeah,
temple, but the moment you go out of your house, outside of your car and outside of your house, you think that the city is a giant trash can. Okay, it is so upsetting and so annoying. There is no pride in the city. Just like we have pride in our house and the way we keep our house, why would you not have it in your city? Right now in lockdown, aren't we seeing the most beautiful pictures of our cities? And we
yeah,
never thought that, oh my God, Delhi can look this way or Bombay can look this way. It looks like California, or it looks like, and it
yeah,
is, it is. It's us that are polluting it all. People spitting pan everywhere, people throwing plastic everywhere, people chewing everywhere. I mean, disgusting. And it's our own city. Why is it so hard? When I was younger, there used to be these subject studies in school called
Yeah.
moral science and civics.
Yeah.
Okay, and at least I've not seen those subjects in most schools now anymore. They've gone off the planet, sadly. Too many other things are there. As a result, I'm seeing societies grow up without any moral conscience, largely, without any civic sense, largely. And it pains me because then it's left to the parents to transfer this to the children, if at all,
Right.
if even the parents have the sense. So
True.
it's very disheartening, very saddening. I applaud the work you're doing. It's fabulous, but it has to transcend to more than just your drive. It has to transcend into a real change. When nobody is
True.
looking, I should be doing the same things. When nobody is
True.
looking, I shouldn't be spitting outside and throwing things outside, etc.
True. Your character really shows when nobody's seeing, right? That's who you are. And the whole idea of this activity is being like, for example, I always go back to running because I'm a runner, I run marathons, right? For runners, even when it's a rest day, these these stupid people literally, right, will they're supposed to rest, but they will go out and do a slow run as a recovery run, and it works for most people, right? So your day doesn't feel complete without a good run. Similarly, for fitness professionals, your day doesn't feel complete without even a small amount of workout, right? I wish we could see a day when it feels our day feels incomplete to actually go out and probably do a trash workout, leading to one day when there will be no litter around. I mean, and I always say we will not be able to clean up this country by cleaning up. We will have to stop littering, and it's so simple. We just have to stop littering. How difficult could it be? And taking this as a cue, I'd like to get to the next point, which is plastic upvas. Now that's another campaign that we started. And upvas, we all know, especially Indians, right? We love our upvases, right? We do upvas to detox our body. Intermittent fasting, the world is doing today. We do upvas on auspicious days. So why not take fast on that one item which is destroying our planet and our health at the same time, which is single-use plastic? So I know there's a lot of work that the government and the manufacturers need to do, but we consumers, you and I, have a certain responsibility towards our environment as well. And that responsibility is, can I cut down on at least one thing from my life which will not create waste? Let's start from there. So I'm going to put you in a spot and ask you, what's your plastic past? What have you been doing around it? And what's that one thing that you've had a little hard time, let's say, or you wanting to shun for some time, and you decide today probably to shun?
Okay, so I can think of many things, but I think I'll zero it down to this. I have switched over all my containers. In the kitchen, you have many containers for your
Right.
whatever grains, your foods, things of that sort. Snacking, you have many containers for your nuts, seeds, whatever, cookies, things of that sort. I've switched it all over from plastic to either glass or metal,
Mhm.
like stainless steel.
Right.
And yeah, I've implemented that across the board, not just for myself, but across the board in all things which come under me.
Wonderful. All right. Um, so I'll give you where plastic was came from, Nawaz, was last year when I did this campaign called Run to Make India Litter Free, where I ran and cleaned up across 50 cities in 50 days. And I mean, it was something which was unprecedented because the government got involved and close to 50 lakh people participated throughout that journey, right? But to actually not preach, that's one thing that we try to do. We don't preach. We say this is what we do. So plastic upvas basically meant for me, did not consume a single item that created waste. So no disposables, no single-use plastic, no single-use cutlery. And imagine we're on the road for 2 months, literally 16 to 18 hours in a day on the road. And I did not use a single-use plastic bottle as well. The point was that I still survived and we got clean drinking water. It's just about prioritizing. It's just about knowing that you and I can make a change and make a difference, and hopefully people will follow. So that's how plastic of us came into existence. So You've already done that, Nawaz. Is there? Yeah, go ahead. You wanted to say
No,
something.
firstly, I'm blown away by everything that you do. You keep, as you're talking, I'm just thinking of, she's a very close friend of mine, Juhi Chawla, the
Wow. Yes.
actress, who's very, very big on this drive. And I'm wondering if you've connected with her in any capacity on your mission as well.
So personally, no. But last year on the World Cleanup Day, which was the same day, I was at the Juhu Beach cleaning up, and the local MP was there. Local MLA, no, local MLA was there. The local councillors were there. The municipality was there. Sonu Sood was there. Juhi Chawla, I think, was there the next day with the same people. So we did a drive, but unfortunately, I couldn't connect with her. But I know she's one for sustainability and environment, and I think we should all be, because ultimately, what you said some time back was our home is not the four walls of our house. There's only one permanent home, which is this earth, which is the environment. We need to keep that. We remember that always.
Yes, can I add one more thing?
Yes, please.
So, because it's very related to the environment, a huge thing that Julie added to my life was these mobile radiation chips. You may have known that she's very large on that. So, all our devices emit a lot of radiation. Our mobiles, laptops, iPads, etc., emit a lot of radiation. And these cause tumors and other things. It causes many health issues. And anti-radiation chips is what she was highly propagating. It's actually really funny that I just ordered. I mean, I've been ordering ever since she got me onto this. I've been ordering and sending it out to friends and people I care about. I want to see healthy, happy, and alive. But I just ordered a fresh batch which came to me yesterday, fresh out of quarantine because I also quarantine. A whole lot of them for, again, laptop, all sorts of devices, laptops, mobiles, um, uh, your smart, your other devices, etc.
Yeah.
And I've been distributing them around. And I told my family right now, hold off because I'm going to finish this live and I'm going to come and apply your device for you directly myself because I know how to do it best. So,
Okay.
so it's funny that we have this conversation here and now. So the polluting maybe in the world and on the planet, but also our own selves and our own mind, no, and our own bodies. And this is very important.
No, absolutely. I think I'll take the last point is very important. It's not about cleaning up or clearing up our environment, but it's our internal systems as well, our heads as well right now. So fitness, physical, mental, emotional, as well as the environment. I think all of those aspects are equally important for us to survive and live as a better race going forward. And I hope the global pandemic gives us a lot of lessons. I think I am done with my questions, Nawaz. Um, do you have anything for me, any question or anything for myself? I know
I
we've
would
been
love
almost
to
talking
see from you, Ripu, not to put you in a spot, but I would love to see from you your drive, not just being that single point drive of a physicality of a thing to do, but of real change where it matters in people's minds, their conscience, their soul, what the right thing to do is, and the sort of place that they want to live in. Do you want to live in a giant garbage can? Or do you want
really.
to live in San Francisco or whatever? I mean, I do see our city like that. We have such a beautiful Bay Area. We have such beautiful hilly regions and green. We have a lake. What do we not have? Our country, it's such a beautiful geographic location. Unlike
Yeah,
any other country, you've got the Himalayas, you've got everything. You've got the best safaris, you've got the best forests, you've got the best beaches, you've got the best coastline. What could you want geographically more than any other country? We boast of it all, but then look at the way we look after it. Horrifying. So if you
yeah.
could make that real change where it really matters, I would be the most excited is all I want to say.
Thank you so much. That would now be what you just mentioned. I can tell you. So I personally covered in the last 3 years, Nawaz, 80 odd cities, towns, and villages across the country. Covered about 21 odd states. And I can tell you, absolutely, you're right that there's no other country in the world like this, not just geographically, but the diversity that we have within our own cultures, right? The people that we have, the kind of different languages and cultures and religions that we follow. It's such a beautiful country. And the fact that we survive with all that diversity is a miracle in itself. But I'm sure we all can take a little bit extra effort, make a little bit extra effort to make our country a little better. And I think it wouldn't hurt anyone if we all do that.
And it's not difficult, it's very easy actually to do.
Okay, all right. Because you brought that point, what I'm going to do is, since we have just a couple of minutes, I want to take a pledge, Nawaz, that we take with every drive of ours. There's a lot of messages that we give, but the last thing that we generally do is a pledge. It's pledge for Swachh Bharat. Can we do that?
Sorry, what does that mean?
Pledge for Swachh Bharat. Basically, what you and I can do on a regular basis. And like you said, it's not difficult. So it'll be just three simple steps that we all can
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah. So
The
for me,
right hand.
sorry.
So we'll
You
just
want
take
me
a
to
pledge.
raise my hand? Okay. Raise my hand.
Yeah, like right,
Okay.
raise the hand. We generally do this, but since yeah, we're cross
Then
our
my
heart.
phone gets knocked
I
out, and so do you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I'll start with my name. You with your name, and everybody else can join it. It's for everyone. I Ripu Daman
I, Nawaz Modi Singhania,
take this take this pledge
take this pledge
that I will put my litter
that I will put my litter.
in a trash bin only.
I don't want to take this pledge because I've always done this. It's never been different for me. We Parsis are grown up a little bit differently. It
Absolutely.
has been
So it's
normal for
for the
us.
yes, it's for the entire country, and it's just like this is what we do at the end of every drive.
Yes,
So
so
wherever
I do it anyway, and I pledge that everyone else does too. Yes,
we should all do it.
totally.
Wherever I go,
Wherever I go,
I will carry my own jhola
I will carry my own jhola
and say no to polythene bag.
and say no to polythene bags.
Wherever I go,
Wherever I go,
I will carry my own water bottle
I will carry my own water bottle
and say no to single-use plastic bottles.
and say no to single-use plastic bottles.
And because of all of this,
And because of all of this,
I will make my country,
I will make my country,
my India,
my India,
litter-free
litter-free.
and the cleanest country in the world. Let's do that.
And I will
And the
try to
cleanest
make it
country
the
in the world.
cleanest country
Yes,
in the world.
yes. Hope is what makes the world go round. So that thank
Yeah.
you so much for taking that pledge. Any thoughts, last thoughts?
Yeah, different people have different limitations. I may not be a jhola kind of person or carry my own bottle kind of a person, but I find another way of doing the same thing. In my car, I always have a little trash bag where everything, all trash goes in there only. It never goes anywhere else. Sort of a thing, you know.
Yeah,
So each one to themselves modify the way you can, but find another way of doing the same thing. End result should yet be the same.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Nawaz, and thank you for being such a sport and giving your perspective on everything, which is very important because ultimately we're all in this together. So thank you so much for doing
Thank you
this,
for
and I love
having
the
me. It was lovely,
conversation.
Ripu. All the best. Keep
Thank
going with the
you.
good, great work, in fact. See
Thank you,
you.
Nawaz. Take care. Bye
Stay
bye.
safe. Bye.
All right, so that was the amazing Nawaz Modi Singhania, and I hope you guys loved the conversation I did. And I just want to tell maybe the last parting message is stay safe, take care of yourself and your family and your fitness, and work towards the environment. All can do our bit. We spoke about the pledge. We spoke about a few things. So thank you so much, and look out for the next few sessions that we'll have in the next week or so. Thank you. Bye bye.